Karen and I have also known each other for a long time, probably over a decade too. I can't remember exactly when we met, but we've played soccer together for a long time. And so she was kind of a friend of mine first, but then she was struggling in the whole love department thing and also decided to do a program of mine. So, all right. So, Karen, hello. How are you?
Hi, Karen. I'm good.
So really glad you're here. Yeah, do you want to share a little bit, like when you kind of came to me for help, what was going on at that point?
Oh boy, I was in a very chaotic state. We'll put it that way. Um, so Karen and I had known each other for years, and I was in a relationship of 28 years, married for 24 when I decided to leave, and I had lost my voice basically. I had done kind of what Jenny had alluded to, where everything was always about everyone else, and I came last. And I always said, maybe if I just, you know, grin and bear it a little longer, or change this about myself, or just kept trying, that it would work. But at some point, I realized I had to leave, or I was going to lose myself completely. And I didn't know who I was anymore. So I left a couple days before Christmas, actually, in 2004, 2004, no, 2015, sorry. Huh. Yeah, anyway, and never looked back, and immediately sought Karen out, probably within a month and a half of leaving, and said, I don't know who I am and I need your help. And I think I did the Love Your Life um,
It was
one,
Transform Your Life. Actually, it was a slightly different
Transform
incarnation
Your
of it.
Life.
It
Okay.
was, yeah. But yeah, you had done that program.
Yeah.
Um, so what shifted for you?
Well, initially nothing. 'Cause while I was working on me, I continued to attract and date men who were of the same ilk as the one I left. And yeah, so essentially, after a couple of months of doing that, I decided, okay, that's it. I'm not dating anybody. I'm just going to focus on me, focus on Karen's program, focus on the work, and figure out who I am and what I want. And yeah, so I spent the next 6 months just essentially working on myself.
Yeah, because
And
you were a magnet for the bad boys at one point.
oh boy, yeah.
And then I think, weren't you still doing the program when you met Jeff, or correct me?
Yes,
And how did you meet and just kind of, yeah.
yeah. So I was about halfway through the program, and I was on Match.com or .ca, and Jeff was actually my second date on Match. And I remember when I met him, I thought, wow, this guy's a really nice guy. Um, but my head was just not in the right place. And I told him that. I said, I owe you a beer, because we had gone to Hurley's for a pint. And after after the evening, we had a lot in common. We really enjoyed each other's company the whole evening. And at the end of the evening, I told him that I was not ready for a relationship, that I really appreciated the date, and hopefully when I got my stuff together, that I would owe him one, and I would pay for the beer the next time. And he figured he'd never see me again. He walked me out to my car, and he said, would it be okay if we kissed goodnight? And I was kind of stunned. No one's ever asked if they could kiss me. And I said, sure. So we kissed, and I remember that kiss. I still remember that kiss. It was amazing. But I knew I wasn't in the right place. So uh, we didn't see each other. We continued texting and stuff, just being friends for a while. Um, Geez, reliving it, Karen's tough. Um, okay, so yeah, so then I worked through Karen's program. I spent a lot of me time, and kind of like Kaylee, I went on a trip with my brother in September. We went back to where my dad was from and spent 3 weeks with family. And it was when I came back that I reached out to Jeff and I said, I think I'm ready for a relationship if you're still around. And he said he was. And the rest is history. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've met Jeff. We've hung out. I had the blessing of attending your guys' wedding last June. I was hoping I couldn't quite get to Kaylee's because I had a conflict, but it was truly just one of the most beautiful expressions of love, the most beautiful weddings I've ever seen. And, you know, I think, so if you don't mind me sharing this part, Karen, I remember at one point, you know, at the point where you were kind of pushing Jeff away a little bit, you know, I remember saying to you, like, what are you doing? Like, this is everything you said you wanted. And I remember you saying, like, it just feels too safe. Right?
Yeah. I was the day I told Jeff that I wanted to break up and not see him anymore. I said to a girlfriend of mine at lunch, I said, I think I just made the biggest mistake of my life. Because, yeah, it's just not what I was used to. I wasn't used to being treated nicely and kindly.
Yeah. And I think it's important for everybody to hear that. Sometimes when we've been in really difficult relationships, our brains start to wire it in such a way that we're associating love with anxiety, love with drama, love with mistreatment. And we're come to expect that as normal. So we get used to these highs and lows, these dramatic swings in a relationship. And then when you meet a healthy person, you don't get these dramatic swings. It's more stable, but that can almost feel boring at first. And it feels certainly different and uncomfortable. So that's why a lot of women end up missing out on opportunities with really great men, because at first it doesn't feel like a spark because you're not getting that unhealthy kick of the addiction aspect of being with the wrong person, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Jeff. What's great about Jeff and your relationship?
Oh, well, all I can say is I've truly met my partner, and he's a partner in every respect. He supports me in my career, with my kids, and yeah, he's just 100% there for me always.
Should mention that Karen and Jeff have 8 kids between the two of them. So they've been tested by life at this point by trying to blend a family that large, and they're still going strong. And, you know, Karen had a pretty serious motorcycle accident last year, and I got to witness Jeff waiting on her hand and foot. And when people say they want somebody in their corner, that's this kind of guy. Yeah. So how would you say life has changed for the better for you?
Oh, goodness. Can't think of anything that isn't better. Yeah, it's just life is fun again. I look forward to every day. I love the pandemic in terms of Jeff and I spending every minute of every day together. It's awesome. Yeah, he works from home and I work from home, and yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, you know you're with the right person when you can spend that much time together and still like them. And you should mention that you guys are in a beautiful new home, right? So
yes,
the benefit of being with the right person is, you know, getting a really nice, beautiful place like the place that you're in now.
Yeah, we kind of pooled our resources and decided with the fact that we have the 8 kids. They're never, well, not never here all at the same time, but not often. But we had a smaller townhouse that was very tight for space when everyone was there, and so we decided to pool our resources and buy a bigger house, and it's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's so great. I'm so happy for both of you guys. You're just a beautiful couple. I love watching you together. Yeah. So what would you say is kind of the key to your success in finding Jeff?
I the Transform Your Life just made me look at who I was at the beginning of life, so to speak, when I really wanted, I wanted to rediscover what was important to me. So it really made me ask the hard questions and think about it. And then once that was done, and I had an idea, and I kind of figured what I knew what I didn't want, it was much easier to I won't say invite, but welcome the uncomfortableness that came with a relationship like with Jeff, where it was a true partnership, where I could expect to be loved as much as I was loving, because that was really uncomfortable at the beginning too. You know, the fact that I didn't have to ask to get a hug or ask to hold his hand or get a kiss. Like, we still, every single day, we text each other a hug and a kiss on the phone. It's been 4 years.
Ah, you're just warming my heart. You're making me cry. You know, it's funny. I'm seeing Jenny and Kaylee nodding the whole time you're talking too. And Kaylee was sharing in chat as well that she almost overlooked her partner as well. You know, so your guys' stories
Yeah.
are quite similar with, you know, you get so used to this bar being so damn low and this shitty level in your relationships and in the behavior of the people you're with. And then this person appears in front of you who offers so much more, but it just feels unfamiliar at first. So people almost miss it. And I'm so glad you didn't. I'm so glad that you and Jeff are together, because it's just awesome watching you guys. So any final words of advice for the ladies here today?
Do the best you can to understand what's important to you, honestly. And like Jenny said it too, you know, if heaven forbid something were to happen where I was separated from Jeff, I'm still going to be okay, because I know it's important to me.
Yeah, it's worth its weight in gold to have that stable foundation and base and know who you are. And ladies, if you hear the common theme in all of these stories, they didn't run out and get a guy to ease their loneliness and their pain. They dealt with their feelings. They did the inner work. They did the exercises. You know, I give a lot of exercises with the coaching work I do, and they applied it, right? And they, you know, they got to the place first of feeling good with it about themselves, and then they attracted the guy, right? So it doesn't, the guy doesn't appear to make you feel better about yourself. You have to get to that place first, and then they show up.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Karen, for joining us today. We really appreciate you sharing the story. There's lots of love for you in the chat, as there is for all three of the ladies who shared today. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry for all the tears.
Oh, love it. It's real. I love it when the stories are real. All right. Thank you so much, all of you guys, for joining. Actually, I'm going to just do something and quickly unmute everybody so we can all kind of together say thank you to these amazing ladies for sharing their stories today. Because normally we do a round of applause, so you can applaud, you can say thank you. All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Awesome
Thank you for
story.
your
Thank
vulnerability.
you.
Appreciate your time. They were great stories. Thanks again.
Sorry.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, ladies. Great story.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. So Karen and Kaylee, you're free to go. Jenny, you're not. But thank you so much again for joining us. I really appreciate it. These stories are so helpful to women who are feeling discouraged. I remember how I felt when my ex and I split up, and feeling like nothing was ever going to change. So it's great that you guys are able to be inspiring to these women. Yeah, and actually, Karen, there's just one more quick. Somebody sent a question. I think it might be a useful one to throw to you because you were a single mom at the point where this happened. So somebody was asking the question, how do you start over as a single mom? I don't know if you have any thoughts to share on that.
Oof. You know what? I needed to leave, so I just found a way. Like, honestly, I didn't know whether I would be able to afford it. I didn't know how I was going to make it. I just knew I needed to. I couldn't stay.
Well, and it was the same for me too when I needed to leave, and I had a 2 and 4-year-old in tow, so little kids, and I'm a firm believer that it's better to be on your own with your kids, create a healthy, happy environment for them,
Yeah.
let them see you learning to be independent as a woman and creating a life for yourself and doing some things that make you feel good about. You notice that, Karen and Kaylee both talked about doing a trip for themselves. Jenny was doing sailing lessons and all kinds of other activities. Like, they started investing in them and doing things that made them happy. And I think that's an amazing thing for your kids to witness. Is it more challenging when they're little? For sure. You got to have babysitters or swap with friends or whatever, but it's doable.
Can I add one thing, Karen?
Sure.
I don't know if you remember what Sarah said at the wedding, but my daughter, she thanked Jeff for making her mom so happy.
Yeah. And I mean, that was a tough transition at first, right? Because not all kids accept the new person. And if I remember correctly, Sarah wasn't quite accepting of him initially. But when she saw how great he was, how great a person, how great he was to you and to everybody around him, she fell in love with him too.
Yeah, exactly.
And what a great gift to give to your kids, to have them witness a healthy relationship, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, so thank you so much again.